Welcome to WatchMojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 alien close encounters in England. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're going to be looking at popular and freaky alien stories that occurred throughout history in England. Which of these stories do you find the creepiest? Don't be shy, let us know in those comments below. Number 10. The Ilkley Moor Alien. On the morning of December 1st, 1987, a retired policeman was walking on West Yorkshire's Ilkley Moor when he allegedly caught sight of an alien. Spencer snapped a photo after spotting a weird-looking creature in the distance, and the picture indeed depicts a slightly humanoid-looking being. Upon chasing after the creature, Spencer reportedly saw an alien spacecraft taking off from the moor. After walking to the nearest village, Spencer discovered not only that his compass was pointing in the wrong direction, but that he had lost an hour of time. The photo was developed and studied by various experts, none of whom had a firm answer to the creature's identity. Number 9. The Langford Budville Abduction. On October 16, 1973, Gabriella Versace was driving to the village of Langford Budville in Somerset when her car mysteriously died. Both the engine and lights had completely shut off, leaving Versace in eerie silence on a rural lane. When she opened the door to investigate the matter, she was reportedly touched on the arm by a previously unseen entity. She turned and saw a 6-foot-tall creature standing behind her and was allegedly taken on board a spacecraft where she was both medically inspected and violated. Versace seemingly lost consciousness aboard the craft and reawakened in her car 3 hours later. Number 8. Angus Brooks. A former administrator for the British Overseas Airways Corporation, 54-year-old Angus Brooks was walking his 2 dogs on Dorset's Moynes Down when he was beset by strong winds. Deciding to shelter both himself and his dogs from the gale, Brooks lay down in a hollow and began waiting out the storm. It was then that he witnessed a craft rapidly descending from the sky before suddenly stopping a quarter-mile from his position. Brooks reported that the craft was translucent, had a saucer shape, and appeared roughly 150 feet in the air. After hovering several hundred feet above the ground for approximately 20 minutes, the craft took off toward Winforth, leaving Brooks horribly bewildered. Number 7. The Lakenheath Bentwaters Incident. At 11 o'clock on the night of August 13, 1956, radar operators at RAF Bentwaters in Suffolk observed a speeding target coming towards the base at a speed of 4,000 miles per hour. Groundsmen reported seeing a bright white light speed by overhead, and a pilot reported seeing the same white light pass directly below him. Bentwaters notified nearby Lakenheath, and soon after receiving the reports, they reported seeing the same white lights in the sky. A pilot was sent to investigate, and after making contact with an unidentified object, it maneuvered behind him and pursued for the next 10 minutes. The Condon Committee famously stated that the probability that at least one genuine UFO was involved appears to be fairly high. Number 6. James Salandin. Another story based around the military, this one occurred just 2 years prior to the Lakenheath Bentwaters incident. On the evening of October 14, 1954, Royal Auxiliary Air Force pilot James Salandin was flying a Gloucester Meteor over the coastal town of Southend-on-Sea when he nearly avoided a head-on collision. While flying at a height of 16,000 feet, Salandin nearly crashed into a silver object that was traveling in the other direction. The unidentified object was one of 2 aircraft, the other being a gold variety of the same type. It's still unclear what the objects were or what they were doing. Number 5. The Little Rissington UFO Incident. Once home to the Central Flying School, RAF Little Rissington is found in Gloucestershire. On the afternoon of October 21, 1952, pilots Michael Swinney and David Crofts embarked on a training flight in a Gloucester Meteor 7. At 12,000 feet, they reportedly saw 3 circular objects hovering approximately 20,000 feet above their location. Swinney reported the incident to ground control, and though Crofts wanted to pursue the object, Swinney declined. Before he had a chance to change his mind, the object suddenly disappeared. Both RAF Staverton and the RAF Southern Sector confirmed the existence of 3 objects on their respective radars. Because they did not pursue, we will never know the true nature of these UFOs. Number 4. Eileen Arnold. One of the earliest UFO reports of the 20th century, the story of Eileen Arnold's experience takes place in Cheltenham, Gloucestershire. While the pregnant 26-year-old was walking home from a doctor's appointment, she supposedly experienced an altered state of consciousness. As she reports, time stopped and everyone around her vanished. She then saw an oval-shaped object hovering above the rooftops and emitting lights from various holes. Various porcupine-like quills then emerged from the craft and detached themselves to fly into the sky. After snapping back to reality, Arnold reported her experience to an international UFO group who stated that she had witnessed a mothership. The true nature of Arnold's experience, whether mothership or not, remains unknown. Number 3. The St. Albans Light. Located about 20 miles north of London is the cathedral city of St. Albans. It's home to the famous St. Albans Cathedral, which has the longest nave of all English cathedrals at 85 meters. Back in the mid-13th century, a scribe witnessed a glowing light hovering in the night sky above the city. The scribe immediately penned a description of the object, calling it a kind of large ship, elegantly shaped, well-equipped, and of marvelous color. Unfortunately, not much is known about the object aside from this brief physical description. Regardless, it's fascinating to consider that UFOs have been reported for such a long time. Number 2. The Rendlesham Forest Incident. This is perhaps the most famous UFO encounter in modern English history, often being called Britain's Roswell. In the early morning of December 26, 1980, security patrols at RAF Woodbridge saw lights descending into Rendlesham Forest, and when they investigated, they found a colourful metallic object that appeared to be glowing. It quickly sped away, scaring the animals on a nearby farm. When day broke, servicemen investigated the area and discovered some bizarre sights, including burned trees and an odd triangular imprint on the forest floor. A few days later, Lieutenant Colonel Charles Holt examined the area with some servicemen and witnessed 3 lights hovering in the sky. Skeptics have continued to try to debunk the story, but it has survived in English lore. Number 1. 12th Century Sea Dragon. It's creepy enough hearing about a modern alien sighting, never mind one that comes from the 12th century. In Jim Maher's book, Alien Agenda, he recounts a story involving religious pilgrims in the southwest of England. The story takes place in the year 1113 and involves the pilgrims witnessing a fire-breathing dragon emerge from the ocean and fly into the sky. Unfortunately, details are extremely scant. We can't know for sure what that object was, why they believed it was emitting fire, or why it flew from the sea to the air, and Mars offers no explanation. But what is clear is that these pilgrims saw something, and it seems to be of an otherworldly nature. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo UK, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.